Hello scrapbooking friends, and thank you for joining me for another video. So today is my update video for January 2025. All the layouts I got done, traveller's notebooks that I worked in, and out my Christmas album, and also any sort of spending, any plans for February. So yeah, I've not been on here since I did my update video in December. So things have still been a little bit hectic here, and I haven't been able to do any recording. But I have been doing a little bit of scrapbooking, and I am all geared up for February. I'm really hoping to do videos in February. So I have had to decide what to do today, because I really wanted to flip through my Christmas album. I wanted to do my update video. I wanted to do layouts, and I've got a little bit of time. But what I thought I'd start off by doing is my update video, as we are already into February. So this is the first one. I've got 5 layouts here. I started recording this video thinking I had 7, but as I was talking I realised that I'd already shown you the other 2 last month. So yeah, I think I did them on the actual day that I did the video, the update video. So yeah, only 5, but there are 2 double pages. So this is the puppies here. We went to an enclosed meadow that you can hire here on the island. It's fully enclosed, and you know, there's like equipment and things that the dogs can play on. So yeah, we went there with the doggies, because these 2 are still, you know, in training. So it's peace of mind to be able to let them off somewhere that's fully enclosed. So I've got 2 pieces of brown texture cardstock and 2 sheets of this checkerboard, I'm not sure how you describe that, pattern paper from Chamel Reason to Smile, 12 by 12 or 12-inch paper pad. Wood paws here that I've definitely saved from previous layouts. I've got some ink splatter, a little bit of stamping here with this stamp that I've had for many years. Woof. It's by Judith. It's Stamp Addicts here in the UK, I'm pretty sure of that. So we've got 2 4x6 landscape photos. We've got 4 3x4 portrait photos, and they're all layered onto craft cardstock. And as I quite often do on this one here, I've left an extra piece at the bottom underneath the photo, torn edge, so that I can do either a title or journaling. And I've done a separate piece here with torn tracing paper, and I've stamped onto that, stapled it onto the craft cardstock, and that's my title. And then here I've added a faux brad journaling, stamping, some grass stamps here, or one stamp that I've used several times. I've got glitter domes and wood dots, and a tiny little tab here that says Who Let the Dogs Out, which came from a dog theme set that was gifted. And yeah, the ink splatter, which I've already mentioned. So that's my double page. I do love a double page. This is a single page of body. So this is that beautiful pattern paper from Chamel again. This is my favourite pattern paper, probably. It's definitely like in my top 5 of all pattern papers. Absolutely love it. So what I've done is I've cut a section off the bottom so that we've got a little bit of a yellow frame here. And what I was doing, I was using what I had in my stash, so the closest colours that I could get to kind of what I wanted to match with the paper. And this is what I had. Afterwards, I'd wished I'd kind of used this sheet as the background and this sheet as the framing for the photos, but you know, I like it as it is. It's fine. So I found these hearts here, Tim Holtz, I'm pretty sure they are, and I've added those. These were taken off an old layout. So I've got sort of a very loose grid design here. I've added some wood hearts onto some of the onto some of the printed hearts on the page. I've stamped the title onto white cardstock and layered that over onto the pattern, the textured plain cardstock. I've added a staple here. I have torn all the edges, or I've distressed the edges if I haven't torn them. 2 4x6 portrait photos of body here, and then I've just done the same here, similar to what I did on the previous layout, with just a piece. Well, I mean, I've done the title similar to the previous layout, and then I added a separate piece for journaling. I didn't actually extend the pattern paper from the photo there. I just said that we'd had to postpone our visit to this area. This is the same place as the previous layout, because Buddy had been poorly, and then we finally got to go there in January, and this is the 10th of January. And I've added some baker's twine, which I've stapled to the page, and I've just said he looks a bit ragged and not in good condition, but he is so much better and had fun. So yeah, I just and this layout, I think this is going to go down as one of my absolute favourite layouts. I'm going to definitely put this in a frame. It's not going in an album. This is going in one of the frames in my craft room. So yeah, I think when I did my update video in December, Buddy was, yeah, he was still poorly, and then he got worse again, and we had to stay at home for Christmas. So he started coughing. He'd been sneezing, he had ear infections, then he started coughing. We had to stay at home for Christmas because he was too poorly to travel. And then, yeah, in the last week or two, he's been poorly again with a different condition. He had an eye injury. So just as he was completely recovered from everything else, he got an eye injury. He's in my craft room with me now. He's under the table, sitting in his basket under the table. Okay, so this is a grid style layout. This is a Christmas one, and it's 2 12 by 12 textured white cardstock pieces. And what, I don't know why, I was looking at my stash. I didn't have a lot of Christmas stash left. I haven't bought anything new, as you know, and I had lots of like bits of scraps and things, so I just kind of didn't really have an idea for the layout. So I just kind of like started chopping up the bits of scraps that I had into 3 by 3 squares, and then I just thought, oh, you know what, I'll just make a page with them, not necessarily telling any particular story, but then I was going through my photos, and I sort of picked these 2 photos of the doggies, and I thought I'll just pop those on in places where I like, where it looks nice, and I'll just use my stash. So it's kind of like it's like an ode to Christmas, but not anything in particular. So this is Buddy and Eddie. He wants the toy that Buddy's got, and then this is Eddie and Holly on a walk. I took them for a walk around the village at Christmas, so that's what the 2 photos are. But everything else is just stash. Yeah, so I've got die cut. This is a tag, a gift tag, die cut pieces, die cut. I've got a Bramble Fox piece here. I've done some stenciling with my Tim Holtz stencil across the layout. Bramble Fox pieces. This is a Vicky Boot and chipboard piece. I've got some layered stickers with, sometimes they've got texture on, but these are just plain. I've got some of those seals that I like so much, some tiny die cut pieces, some of the festive buttons that I've got, lots of Bramble Fox pieces all across the layout here. More layered sticker here. I've got a textured layered sticker here. Just, yeah, and I've stamped 2024 there, and just really using stash. A little bit of journaling on this piece that I cut down here, and I just said Christmas at the cottage as Buddy a little poorly. I kind of wanted to say more than that, but my writing's quite big and I ran out of space, so I thought, you know what, I'll just leave it as it is. Like I say, it's just kind of like a festive layout. And then I've got these little globes pieces that I'd had for quite a few years. I can't remember the brand. It might have been Pink Fresh Studio, and there was kind of like 6 of them in the packet, and you got this piece, and then you got like a clear acetate piece to go over that, and then you got all these little bits that you could add to it. So I think these came from that set. So I've been trying to use those this year. You'll see those in my album, and I had this one, and I thought, oh, you know what, that looks really nice over this snowflake kind of acetate paper here. So yeah, real mishmash of stash. I stamped the year here as well. I don't know if I'd realised. I think when I did that, I'd forgotten that I'd done it there, but actually it looks really good there anyway, and I like it there too. I'd definitely forgotten though that I'd done that. So yeah, I've used like texture paste. I've just added a little bit of colour to the texture paste with a little bit of acrylic paint, or just left it plain, and I think I might smudge that one a little bit, but I left it as it was. So yeah, just kind of like an ode to Christmas, and I think I'm going to frame that in a frame at Christmas time. This is a layout about Eddie the puppy. I did make a little bit of a mess. I had to ink splatter just to cover up where I'd smudged it a little bit. I think it's okay. And there was a bit here where I dropped the stamp on the page, so I added like a splatter, but that doesn't look too good. I might try and get a bit more of a splatter on top of that. But anyway, yeah, I was not doing it in a rush, but not really thinking about what I was doing, and I just kind of like smudged the page, dropped things and everything. In the past, I've done layouts where I've created a frame using stamping and embellishments, and it's always been something that I really, really like to do. And one of the layouts that I did is one of my all-time like favourite layouts. So I always think about that design. I really like that design. So I've got 2 3x4 portrait photos here of Eddie, just stuck to the page, just slightly offset, and then a little scrap of pattern paper here. And I wrote this out once, and I didn't like what I'd written, or I didn't fit it on properly, so I did it again, and then I had to, and I made a little mistake, but I left it because I didn't have any more of this paper, and I wanted to really use this paper. So I've got this wood pour that I've gessoed over, and I've stamped Eddie's name there, and then I've just used my dog themed stamps. This is actually a Simple Stories game themed collection that was out not too long ago, a few years ago. So I thought I'd use that. I don't think I'd used that stamp before, so I put ink on that stamp for the first time. Just hearts and all mostly dog themed from all my planner or dog themed stamps that I've got. And then I add this little rubber piece here that I found in my stash that I think came from a layout, deconstructed layout, and I added the date. And I've just said that he's such a loving little boy. He doesn't like being told off. He sips water all day, likes to mooch in the garden, scraps with his sister, wants all the toys, and very tired in the evenings. So just kind of a few sort of observations about his sort of character that's coming through. Now we've had them for 3 months, more than 3 months. And then this is a donkey that's arrived at the donkey sanctuary, and as I haven't bought any stash for ages, so I'm kind of running a little bit low on pattern paper, but I don't want to buy any. I want to use my stash. So I came up with the idea of creating my own pattern paper here. And what I did was I used these watercolours, which is these are Vicky Booting, and I've not kept the packaging, but it's definitely Vicky Booting. And I used these 3 colours here just kind of randomly. I think I used the dark one first, and then I went over a little bit with one of the lighter colours, and that's all I did. And I did it portrait as I was doing it, like this, with this paintbrush. Just used a little one of these like paintbrushes you get from a children's craft shop. It's not anything fancy at all. But in the end, I decided that I wanted it to run landscape across the page because, you know, I suppose because of the field and everything. I don't know, and because of the fencing and what have you. I just liked the look of it running horizontal across the page. So yeah, I think, does it come off? I think it does come off actually. It's not sealed. So I've stapled that to the page in every corner with my tiny attacher. I've used craft cardstock and I've inked the edges because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. I've stamped the name of the donkey here with that it's this one. It's Ellie Studio. Is it Ellie Studio? Yeah, it is. And it's the only time that I've used the outline and the inside of the stamp. So Candles and Balloons alphabet set. The only time I've used the outline and the inside. And it's a bit tricky to do. Usually, sorry, I'm talking over that noise. I do find Ellie Studio stamps to be good quality usually, but I really struggle to stamp them without getting this extra ink on the, on the alphas. Yeah, I'm not sure. I never get that with the Tim Hall stamps. I don't know why that is, but I think I'll always be a rubber stamp kind of girl. The clear ones I like the planner stamp sets and everything, but yeah, I just have trouble stamping those without getting the extra bit on there. But there you go. Black journaling pen here. I've just said that Gabby is such a striking donkey and everyone has fallen in love with her. So I've torn, like I said before, I've left an extra piece below the photo and torn the edge so I can do a little bit of journaling here. I've added lots of wood hearts, and this is a cork one here, and I've inked them, different style of hearts. I've inked them. These two came as they are, and I've taken them off an old layout. They already had love on them. I've inked this one in green, then brown, and a little bit lighter brown here, and I've added one into the centre of this one here, which I like to do sometimes. And this little piece came from Chamel's paper pad, and I've just said that the 6 newbies arrived. This Gabby here, her parents, and then 3 other donkeys, and they're all in quarantine at the moment at the donkey sanctuary. So yeah, that's all the layouts that I've done this month. So like I say, that's 5, including 2 double pages, so that means kind of 7 individual pages, isn't it? We shall go for filing. Now then, my traveller's notebook. So I haven't put that piece in yet, or that piece, but I will at some point. Where did we finish off last time? I finished off with the puppies, and I hadn't done anything at all in here. When I did my update video in December, I'd not done anything at all. And I've not done very much, but I've done a little bit. So I've put in the flyer for the show that Mum and I went to see, and I went to see it on my own as well. So as I quite often do with theatre flyers, I cut them down as small as I can to fit them on this page, and it's quite good with these larger size Travellers Notebooks because you can do that. You wouldn't be able to do that with the normal size one or the slender one. I've got some die cut pieces here. I think the edges of this one here to make it stand out. Lots of die cut pieces from that Simple Stories C collection. Stamped some boats on here. I've added a faux brad. They have got a name, I'm not sure what they are. I always call them faux brads. They're adhesive. And then I've got a photo of Mum and I outside the theatre, and then a photo of Mum with the puppies here. And I'm just saying that Mum came for a few days to meet the puppies, and I booked an extra show and took her to see it on the Friday because I was going to see it anyway, but then I booked an extra show and took Mum with me. And I had to miss one of the shows, so, you know, I still got to see it twice. And then more theatre. This is for the Sweeney Todd show that I saw, and when I was starting to do this page, I was thinking of West Side Story, and I was thinking I was putting West Side Story here with the brickworks. That I think that fits in with West Side Story. But then I realised I wanted to put this in first. So, yeah, I still left it the same. But my original idea was for the West Side Story. But I suppose, you know, it still could be a brick building, couldn't it, to like a barber shop or something. And when you look at all this stage, it does look like brick. It is brickwork. In actual fact, I think when I was looking at the photos originally, in my mind, I was thinking that this was the West Side Story stage, and it wasn't. So, actually, I have done it okay. That's just me rambling on. So, again, flyer for the show. Lots of scissors stamped here because it's like the barber shop, isn't it? And this is me in the theatre. I had a couple of scraps of pattern paper there, so I just laid the photos onto that. The pieces were not big enough to mount the photos properly, so I just offset them slightly. So I've got me in the theatre, this is the stage, and then my review of the show, and that's it. I've not done any journaling, I've just left my review on there. I got really poorly that night after that show. There was a lot of that dry ice. I don't know if it was anything to do with that or not. That has made me poorly in years gone by, dry ice, when it's surrounding the theatre. And that was when I started kind of like with a cold for a few days. And yeah, I don't know whether that caused it or not, but yeah, I was a bit poorly after that. I enjoyed the show though. And then actually, you know what? It wasn't that show, it was this show when I got poorly. I'm getting myself really mixed up. This is West Side Story, and this is when they had all the dry ice, and this is when I got poorly. But if you look at the photo, I mean, it's not the same, but it has got like brickwork and everything, so you can understand, and steps going up and what have you, so you can understand why I would get the two mixed up. So then I did this background, similar to what I did before, me in the theatre, the stage and my review, and that's it, nothing else. And then I've used my theatre stamp that I quite often use. I usually use it when I go to sort of musical theatre, but I wasn't sure what to do with that gap really. I could have just left it plain, but I thought I'd got it out, so I may as well use it. That's it, nothing else in here. So that's all I've done so far, or up to now. Back to the donkey one. So I did go back and re-stamp that India there that I had forgotten to do previously, so I did go back and do that. And then this is where we are. So this was the Red Funnel Award, so I went to the ceremony, and then this is back at the Donkey Sanctuary. We're taking a photo for the social media, and we just had like a photo at the farm with two of the donkeys. And yeah, so I've popped that there, and then I've just put a couple of photos here of Dolly. I've not really done any writing. I think that's pretty obvious. And then I'd been grooming Dolly, and I just took a couple of photos of her and popped them in here. Maybe I should write here that I groomed. And then this is Moses, and I'd fitted his rug for him at the end of the day. Brown or brown, sort of brown texture cardstock with a little bit extra and a torn edge, and I've just written his name there, and then added one of those Tim Holtz hearts that says Beyond Measure. And looking good after I fitted his rug. He's a good boy. And that's as far as I've got. I've got a few things here that I want to add in. I've got 2 pages left, and I think last time I said I was going to take these out and fill the gaps that I'd forgotten to fill previously, but I didn't do that. I left them where they are, and I know it's kind of out of sequence with the awards, but to be honest, I'd started doing this page before I remembered that I was supposed to move those back. So yeah, I had no choice but to carry on. And I mean, it meant that I didn't have to like rip out a page and lose a page. So yeah, I've got 2 more in here, and then I've still got this one to do, which is a few ideas or things that are coming up that I'm going to pop on these 2 pages. and then that will be finished. And what I might do in future after that is just use any donkey things I put in my regular traveller's notebook. I don't think I'm going to have a separate one. And this is just a fun video that we did at the sanctuary, because we put out an appeal, or we just put out a thing on social media saying about people could bring their Christmas trees to the donkey sanctuary for the donkeys to eat. And we got so many that we had to do a video to ask people not to bring any more. And I spoke in the video, and that I just did it like at the very last minute. I didn't know I was doing it or anything, and nobody else really wanted to speak, I don't think. So I'm like, oh, I'll do it, you know me, I don't mind being in the spotlight. And so I just took a still of that, and when I looked the other day, I think like 20,000 people had seen the video. It's only like a short video saying thank you, but please don't bring any more. So yeah, so that's my traveller's notebooks and my layouts. Now then, I haven't spent anything. The only thing I've spent money on is selfie ink again. I always seem to buy selfie ink, and I think in the last video, I don't think I said I'd bought any, but I had bought some, and I bought one since then as well. I bought myself some tape refills for my little this little tape one. I bought some refills for that, and the other day I bought some more double-sided tape, so 6 rolls of double-sided tape that I just got from the Works shop. So I didn't buy any stash at all. I've just been using my stash, which I really, really, really like to do. But I was gifted some items. So my lovely friend Stephanie sent me these, which are, I think they're chipboard. Are they chipboard? MDF, something like that. Absolutely lovely. And you've already seen one of those on my Eddie layout. A little packet of those. More than that, this is just what I've taken out to show you. Then my lovely other friend Claire sent me these things. This lovely Christmas stamp, and I've only just realised when I took this out to show you that it's got other things in there. Look, like lovely twine and die cut pieces and things. So that's going to add to my stash, isn't it, for my Christmas crafting. And then same again here. I thought it was just one stencil, but it's not, is it? There's a few in there. It says 4-pack, look. I thought it was just this one, but it's actually got 4 stencils in there. So that will help with me creating my own pattern paper. Some stamps here and some stamps here. So all Christmas. So that's going to boost, I was going to say bolster, boost or bolster my Christmas stash for next year, because I've finished my album for this year. I don't know if I've got any Christmas layouts to do, or if I don't know if I've got any more planned. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but if I have, I may use those sooner than that. So I had a little tally up of my layouts that I did in 2024, and I did 57 layouts, which, you know, that's not bad, is it? That's one a week. And I am trying not to do too many layouts, as you know already. I don't want to buy any more albums, so I'm actually really pleased with that, because I know at one time I was saying I don't want to do more than 100. So yeah, I'm pleased with the 57, really pleased with that. And I'm pleased that I actually managed to get 57 done as well, as opposed to, you know, not being able to get that many done. So mostly the ones I did were, well, the ones I did were dogs, donkeys, me, home, family and Christmas. So yeah, that's all I've got up to. Don't know what else I've got planned. I have got some layouts planned. I saw Joseph in January twice. Obviously doggies and things, there's always those to do. I can't remember what other ones I've got planned, but same as the ones I got planned before. I need to do a flip through of my Christmas album, which I'm really excited to do. I might even do that today. And I may start on another layout. Oh, actually, I'm looking behind me now, and I have got a Christmas layout already ready to go, and some Joseph layouts. I've actually already planned that layout though, so I don't think I'll be using my stencils, but you never know, I might change my mind and add it as a little subtle background, a bit stenciling or something. But yeah, other than that, that's everything. I don't think there's anything else to tell you. I will definitely plan on doing lots of scrapbooking in February. Whether that comes to fruition or not, I don't know, or whether I will record them or not, but hopefully I will. And once again, thank you for listening to my rambling. Thank you for supporting me. Stay safe, take care, and I shall see you next time.